Start streaming. Alright, I think it started. Excellent connection. Oh shit. Fuck, I think I just doxed myself. Alright. Stream is starting. I'm gonna get my burrito out of my microwave. Yo. Yeah, no, brother, you're not. You have to, like, genuinely have some... Put some ideas in there? Oh, put ideas in the chat for Disciple Reworks, and you'll get stage. The purpose of this is for Vibe and I to have a discussion about all of Disciples. Yes, you can hear me. Beautiful. Loki, actually, do me a favor. Check out that live stream real quick and tell me if you can hear me on that. I'm about to hear that shit too. Beautiful. I don't know why the fuck the... I don't know why the hell the settings are boxed up. It shouldn't be like that. That's okay. As long as the audio is good, I'm fine with it. Because really, it's just going to be a discussion. I'm not really... And tell me if it's going to be a discussion. I'm not really... Not really too pressed on it. You know what I'm saying? Alright. So we're going to starting in 4 minutes. Starting in 4 minutes. I'm going to get my burrito out of the microwave, and we will start. Peanut butter inside. Video unavailable? What do you... Oh. Thank you for that. And now can you click on that link? I'm going to get some water real quick.
Let's hope we have a bigger audience than one.
Alright. Let's get this show on the road. The aspect ratio is fucked. Yeah, I know. I don't know how the fuck to change it. And I don't really get... Like, the stream itself is more so just to get the audio. Alright, cool. Alright, Vibe. Oh, shoot. I think he might be AFK right now. Alright, no matter. I'm gonna be eating my burrito until he gets on.
I'm
Oh,
ready.
Well, first off, how was your day?
Great, like always.
Hell yeah.
Uh, Playing a little bit of Call of Duty in the meantime.
I'm ready. Whenever you want to start.
Give me 1 minute and then I'll be ready.
Take as much time as you need. How do you say your name? Infit W? Infit?
Come again?
There's someone in the chat. Oh my god, I got a milk. I am so sorry if you heard that shit. Oh my god, I did not expect. I was taking a bite out of my burrito and then just fucking like slobbered all over the mic. I'm so sorry.
Alright, I'm ready.
All right. Anything you want to talk about specifically?
No, I'm mostly here to hear about the ideas
Yeah.
and what we can actually do. Hey, Vibe, the aspect ratio is fucked.
No,
What do you mean?
he's talking about
Wait.
the YouTube stream.
Oh, you're streaming on YouTube?
Yeah, this is just to archive the discussion. Let's say if somebody has a banger idea and then we forget about it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have. I guess we're just gonna have one person in the audience, which is okay.
Yeah, people can join.
So first order of
Maybe
business. How do you think disciples
maybe-
should be handled in the game?
Um, uh, straight off the bat. Yeah, like I said earlier, they should be able to do skills themselves. They should have individual power levels. Not as the way T-Mobile is using it, but how do you say it? Like power up levels, like I explained earlier. They each have their own base stat, and every time they gain more power, their base stat gets raised instead of like individual raises whenever they get power. Like right now, I think whenever the more power they get, they automatically get their attack stats up and
Yeah.
what's it called? Defense stat.
Yeah.
I think we should work on that.
So-
Don't have an idea specifically.
Or you think T-Mobile should work on that, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, 100%.
So, the big issue that I have with that's literally how disciples are right now. Like, every single disciple comes with base stats. They level up themselves if you train it. That's just how it is. And that's how it's been since disciples come out.
There's no real customization.
There isn't, and I don't think anybody even wants to customize them. Disciples are literally a tool to double your stats. That's it. There's nothing remotely cool about them by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, in essence, that's why I ask, like, how would you rework them if you were T-Mobile?
Well, I worked out an idea earlier this day with Sharp.
Yeah.
Where did I put it? Pum 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 pum. All right. So basically, we make disciples controllable, but instead of calling disciples, we call them partners, and make them controllable. By controllable, I don't mean like done commands to move, go home, protect, whatever the fuck. Sorry for cursing.
I don't care. Cursing is okay. Cursing is 1000% okay.
So with this, they would have their own skills, not just the same skills that our player has, but like actually own skills. Let's say, for instance, what if T-Mobile had a what's it called? Let's say Vegeta is their partner for the Saiyans. What if Vegeta had a skill to actually turn Ozaru and do a little bit of more damage, and it's not just a straight up ape. But like I think I can pull up some pictures if you like.
Yeah.
Pum, pum, pum. Yeah, I'm on the wrong PC. Give me a second.
Since I am streaming, just be cautious. You can always put in screenshots in the chat.
Yeah. I have them here.
So everything you said is literally all in the game. Like, disciples are able to go ape. Disciples are able to have their own skills. The only thing that the rework that you're talking about differs is that you're able to actually control the disciple itself. But at that point, what's the difference between piloting a disciple and then piloting your own account? That sounds like the exact same thing.
Instead of having our own missions, we could ask if they would make it so they would have the disciples or partners, whatever you want to call them, have their own missions, their own story-based, story-driven missions back on their home planet.
But why? Like, all that would do...
It's a different approach.
Yeah. But the thing is, why not just make those missions to the actual player? All it does is just create another branch of mission. Like, these aren't going to be unique stories to each disciple, right? Or are they going to be...
Yes, they're going to be unique if we...
How unique are these going to get? Because each disciple, that just sounds like it's going to have... So each player is going to have one disciple, right?
I mean, it could widen the possibility to get more, or to get a disciple from another planet, or I mean, the options are endless if they know how to code it. But yeah, I mean, if you don't bring up ideas and expand on them, because we could go on about disciples all day, but if you don't really bring ideas and work those ideas out, yeah.
The question is though, why? What can a disciple do that the main player can't? What's the point of even being able to pilot a disciple? Like, I know you brought up the fact that we it could be possible for a disciple to have its own mission and whatnot, but it just doesn't make sense. Why not just have those missions to the actual player of the account? Why do we have to make it attached to the disciple?
Because a disciple is not given to you by just let's say killing Broly. Is that the only way you get it in the real in the T-Mobile game?
In Ngak Wrong, there's two ways to get a disciple: either through killing a Super Broly or getting the egg from Hirudegarn. That's it. Let's look at the chat real quick. Masenko for disciples should either be buffed or reworked so that all the blasts are viable in one way or another. So the only way that would happen is if Kamehameha Wave was extremely slow, just as how Earth's blast their Kamehameha very slowly as well. That would be the only way to make Masenko viable, because Masenko is the fastest blast period in the game, with how Disciples do it, Kamehameha is also the fastest blast, and it sucks. Really, the only way to make Masenko viable is to just make each blast do the exact same damage, but maybe have something else in it. Wait, what's up?
All right, I have an idea. I just came up with it. What if we made it so that people can choose their disciple? Let's say a race for their disciple. What if we can make, or yeah, we can make it possible to have the disciple have any skill possible, like with its limits. Like let's say I
Within its like
want
race limits.
I my main is a Namekian. I can heal, but I want to do a Masenko, and I can't do it on my Namekian. What if we made it so that the disciple or partner, whatever we're gonna call it, um, would have let's say Masenko or Kamehameha? What if it's not limited to any skill like the current main character raises?
That's a thing that's already there. In a lot of private servers, they've discovered that Beerus is something being coded into it, and it's Kid Beerus. Kid Beerus has a way different blast than any of the other disciples. I think it has like Hakai or something like that. No, I don't know what the name is, but that's something that's already there in Teemo
Hmm.
Bai's code. It's just not there yet. See, the reason why I'm so hesitant on I think disciples are the worst, and I mean the worst. Oh, we had. All right, we lost our only viewer, which is okay. We didn't need him anyways. Jokes aside, I think disciples were the worst mechanic ever to the game. They made it so that you didn't have to train at all. Period. Zero training possible. And you can easily prove that by just going in the game right now and just looking at anyone, and I mean anyone that's supposedly training in the game. They're not doing anything but camping at a certain place and just having their disciple just attack for them, and all they do is just see that green number go up and up and up and up, and it's the laziest way to do anything. I'm all for lazy options, but it just ruins the game completely when all your training is just setting up an auto clicker and not even learning about the game itself. That's my stance.
I play, well, it's a total different game, but I play old school RuneScape. You know what that is?
Yep.
That is the most grindable game you can play,
Yep.
or one of the most. And the the thing about that is, I love grinding. I love the aspect of grinding. I like it when people who actually put in the work get rewarded with higher tier items. Yeah,
I
and
agree.
have just overall having better stats. But if you just do everything AFK and bot everything, yeah, what's the point in playing the game then?
And that's
Okay,
exactly
people
what
like the end game shit, but yeah.
DBO is right now. It's quite literally just AFK, and then as soon as you've AFK farmed for like 3 hours, or no, it's not even 3 hours. 3 hours is actually a very reasonable time for a lot of DBO players. When I would train disciples for money or gear, I would set up timers for 8 to 12 hours and just have an auto clicker on my phone, just letting that go.
Hmm.
It was absolutely insane, and I like when people find reworks to that, but something like that really shouldn't exist. Now, I can definitely give some ideas, because you are the sole. Hold on, let me unmute. Let me mute myself on stream. So
Oh, it's okay.
if you think disciples are going to be the best for the game, 1,000% I'm on board, because there's one person carrying that horse. There's one person carrying that horse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
If
the thing is,
what I'd love to
I
do.
don't want I don't want it to be pay to win.
Yeah.
And um, I'm already giving a lot of free diamonds in different types of ways. Um, through daily login, through gift codes, through arena, through the Battle of the Gods that's coming, and just overall. But if we don't have some type of grindability to keep our players, like giving them free diamonds is fun. But what if they have everything? What's the point in trying to grind if they can auto everything? If they have auto train? But because I remember previously in our previous server, you said, yeah, auto train should be free. And I was like, okay, I understand
Wait.
to a degree.
Okay. Hold on. If I said that, then I'm extremely sorry. Hold on. Let me definitely make this like let me try and get my ducks in order. I think everything should be free to obtain, but if you want more than the free amount allows, then you need to pay. So for auto train, I think it should be I think you should get a set amount of auto train per hour that you actually play the game. So let's say if you're playing for 2 hours, you should have like 10 minutes of auto train. It should just come to you, right? And if you want to get more auto train, you'd buy it from the shop. That's my stance on auto train.
All right,
Yeah.
that's it's not a bad idea.
So thinking about disciples and stuff like that, if we want to make it so that we still fit in that genre, what would need to happen is there would need to be some sort of mechanic that makes it so that the player and the disciple fighting together is like top notch. Like I don't the way that it is right now is absolutely atrocious. You just camp at a place, you just let your disciple run wild. I think actually it would have to be more egregious than what DBO is right now. In DBO right now, if you have a disciple charm on, your disciple is never going to ask you to fight monsters. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
think I think it needs to be even stricter than that. I think even if you have a disciple charm, the player would still need to fight alongside the other monsters. I don't honestly. I don't know. Just the
So
way
you
that
need to
is
be
right now.
active.
Because the whole point. Okay, you know what? The whole point of even having a disciple in general, like having a pupil, right? The whole point of that is you're teaching that disciple how to get stronger. In
Mm-hmm.
essence, I think if we were to do a disciple rework, that disciple should be a mirror image of the creator or of the player, and they would function in similar but different ways. So if let's say if I was a Namekian and my disciple was a Saiyan, that disciple would give me like X amount of attack boost based off of what level he's at. So let's say I get
Mm-hmm.
like a 10% attack boost if my disciple is out. With Namekians, I would get like 2% HP if he's out, like per second or whatever. I think what
Uh-huh.
if if we're talking about mechanics that disciple I honestly when you talk about like a disciple solo mission or a disciple mission, I genuinely think that's probably one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. I think what would be cool are disciple player missions where you fight like monsters together, right? I think what would be cool is having a blast that the disciple and the master account share. So like you know how Gohan and Goku do the fucking father son Kamehameha. I
Mm-hmm.
think something like that would be absolutely fucking goaded for disciples and players. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, I would definitely see a need for disciples for because that shit makes sense. But like everything, every idea I've seen so far has just been quality of life changes from the DBO aspect. I feel like we're still in that mindset of how disciples work right now, and we just can't get out of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm
But
not.
still,
Wait, what? Go ahead.
but s- but but still, that would um, having shared missions would be just the same as just doing the main missions of your character, uh, but with your disciple out.
Yeah, and I don't know.
That's
I
what I mean by solo missions. What if you can give your main character a break and just go on
no.
path with your disciple and then play as a disciple? Because the disciple would be a skin, but or skin or mask, whatever you call it, but that's not obtainable in the game. So it would be a character in the game that's not obtainable, or that mask or the skin is not obtainable within the game.
I don't know. I kind of just got lost right there. That like it. Oh, wait, say what you said again from the first sentence. I don't know. I just that just did
Yeah,
not
I
make any
forgot.
sense to me. Okay, fuck. Well, you know what? We have the stream right now. Let me hear that shit. Let me not turn off desktop audio real quick. Uh, turn off the. Okay, okay. So your claim was it would be giving the main character a break. Like, bro, these characters aren't sentient, you know? Like, giving my character a break would literally just be me exiting off of the game, you know? And giving my character a break would literally, let's say if I still wanted to play DBO, giving my main character a break would be me logging off my first account and then just going on to another one. I feel like you're, I feel like you're, with this in mind, it would be as if you're making multiple accounts but with none of the benefits at all. I can't trade with that disciple as if I were to make another account and then trade with that, you know? Disciples
But
I just
but
yeah, go on.
what if you can?
At
Like I
that
said,
point,
what if you can?
you're literally making just a second inventory space. Why would I trade with my disciple? I know I'm going to press yes. It's not like I'm gonna fucking trade with my disciple and then have my disciple decline no. Like, why the fuck would I do that, bro?
No, that's the point. What if you can just trade places with your disciple, have you to wear clothes that you can't wear on your main account? Wait, that's the same as the mobile.
Yeah, that's the exact same. I feel like you're actively making ideas just to make the disciple
Yeah,
experience
I
like
am.
worse.
I'm not trying to make it worse. I'm trying to come up with ideas to add on to something that we would have.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm.
I,
But it's difficult if you never had the different experience. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. For those of you just joining right now, we're talking about disciple reworks. Feel free to drop any nuggets of wisdom or okay, yeah, fuck you too, piece of shit. Bro left. Um,
God damn.
yeah. So with that in mind, I personally still don't think disciples are a good idea for the game. Ever like for yeah, I personally just don't think they're good.
We should come up with something good then. Or just like leave the question open for a little while until people can actually get a good idea of what we need.
Disciples in this game in DBO as of right now are just glorified pets. That's all they are. They are not a disciple at all. They're a glorified pet that you can fuse with and then just get double your stats. That is all they're actually good for. And it makes no sense that I get why they're in the game. I feel like it's one of those things that it just destroyed the game to the point where you have to have a disciple. Everyone in DBO has to, and I mean they have to have a disciple or else they don't function in the game. Every single person has that shitty fucking Vegito fusion, and nobody is unique because everyone looks exactly the fucking same. With disciples, you have to factor that in, and that's what sucks. Before disciples, everyone had their own individual masks, even though everyone pretty much had the same mask because everyone was broke. It was always possible to have to and see people that are unique within the game because they would be different. They would have a different avatar on. They would have different clothes on. But with disciples, every single person is wearing that exact same Vegeta skin. Vegito skin, sorry.
I mean, that's what we could change. We could just add different types of
there is
fusion.
there's so much overhead when it comes to adding fusions with how the game is right now. If I were to walk in my character's clothes right now, it wouldn't be the most unique combination, but it would be unique enough that I would distinguish myself from other players. When I played the game back in like 2012, 2013, everyone was the same, but everyone looked different. Everyone had the exact same avatar, but somebody would have a rough t-shirt but with like dragon pants. Somebody would have red leather armor but with Seiya pants, the Seiya armor pants, the gold Saiyan armor pants. You know, there were so many combinations that were possible, so many outfits to choose from. They all looked tacky as fuck unless you did the actual outfit that matched. But you could tell, it almost felt like you could tell who was playing the game based off of what they wore. But with how it is right now, it's just not that. And sure, I mean, the argument's always there that, oh yeah, people could unfuse. Why? I always want to walk around as the strongest version of my character. So why would I ever unfuse? That makes no sense.
Yeah, true.
So either disciples have to go or fusions. Fusions for disciples. And like, yeah, don't even get me started on how Fusion is. Fusion was the most disappointing... Oh, well, hold on. I'm getting started on it. But Fusion was the most disappointing feature in the entirety of DBO. That was my TED Talk. I don't want to talk too much about it. You are free to rebut anything that I said.
Wasn't Fusion just a buff and that's it?
I mean, that's all Fusion was. It was literally just to buff your character by just adding your disciple stats to the player. That's it.
Talking about Fusion, what if we could make it possible to have, when you fuse, you could have the skills on your main character of the kid. Like you have a combination of two the both skills.
See, that would
as in the actual.
Yeah, that actually wouldn't be a bad idea. That's something that I would look forward to in a rework of Disciples and Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, do you think Fusion would be possible between two like actual players?
I think it's possible, but who'd run around like who'd be in control?
It would be whoever's stronger, or whoever initiates it. Honestly, so if I initiate the fusion, then I would be the one in control. If the other guy initiates the fusion, then they would be in control.
What about XP sharing?
I think we would start off Oh shoot, I need to stop touching my mic because it's peaking. I think we would probably start off not having any XP if you're in a fusion state because you're purely just fighting, right? I could actually see the argument. Oh yeah, no XP sharing, but whoever initiates it. Oh yeah, okay. No, probably no XP sharing and maybe no quest sharing as well. I don't know. But you'd strictly be doing fusion for PvP and boss fighting to get drops.
And what's the point?
To get drops. Like, there are going to be enemies. Like, even right now, there are a lot of bosses that you can't really fight unless you fuse. It'll be the same thing with this. So I would say a lot of the bosses that are like filler bosses. Like let's say if Janemba was in the game. You know, I think that would be super fucking cool that two players fuse to be stronger than Janemba and then beat his ass, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
Not much actually. I'm just trying to work out the ideas in my head and coding them and what the options are, because basically everything is possible.
Yeah. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, like I said, whatever you think is best for Disciples and the game, for DBO, not T-Mobile's DBO, not for anything else. Like that is your call to make on what the best Disciple rework would be. I'm just saying I personally think that Disciples just don't add any value to the game and actually hinder the game. They're more trouble than they're worth.
I mean, I get the idea. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything else? We're gonna wrap it up there.
No, not much. I think that was about it. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Then we can end it there. And anything else, obviously, we'll just talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right,
We'll talk.